This is our destiny. We about to lift our community so we can be all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. We building wealth, leaving legacy. This is our destiny. We about to lift our community so we can be all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. We building wealth, leaving legacy.
Good evening. How is everyone on this fabulous Friday? How are you, John Sanders?
It is a fabulous Friday, and I am excited to be on the show tonight, the SOS show.
You know what? The weather is beautiful. I see you're outside. I just came from inside from doing another show with the bartenders. And oh my God, I had to go in, wash my face, and try to pull myself together because it's a little warm. But I won't complain because if you live in Michigan and you stay a while, the weather is guaranteed to change.
Yeah, okay? Absolutely.
So before we start the show tonight, John, I want to ask everyone, if you have not filled out your 2020 census form, please take a minute and log in, fill out that form, because you're not hurting me, you're hurting yourself by not filling it out. When you say you can't get to a proper hospital, you can't get any funds, you can't get different things in your community, the streets are bad, which the streets and roads here in Michigan are always bad. So, but anyway, please fill out that census form.
Fill it out, absolutely.
There are 9 questions on the form, 9.
Yeah.
If you have trouble filling the form out, and you know me, I will help you fill out your form. If you give me a call, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put a phone number up.
Yeah.
205-499-2677. That's my boo line. But anyway, I'm going to open that phone number up because I don't want a lot of calls coming to my regular phone. So I'll know if I get a call on that phone that you are someone in need of getting your census filled out. And you don't have to live in Michigan. If you're having problems and you need help filling out your census form, call me. That's what we're here for, not just to have a show. We want to educate people and we want to help people educate themselves. So you can give me a call at 205-499-2677. Some of you might recognize that phone number if you're from down the way, because that used to be my mom's phone number, but I have the phone, so hey. I don't get calls on it, but I will gladly help anyone that wants to fill out their census form. That's just my way of giving back. Now, let's talk some Black history.
I'm ready for it.
So I had gotten a request from a young lady. She wanted to know more about people from our past that were influential people that made a difference in the Black community. Well, a lot of people know about Martin Luther King. They know about a lot of people know about Grover Washington. Wait a minute, did I say that right? Ooh, I can tell y'all I'm tired. Not Grover Washington. Well, Grover Washington is Black as well, But you know about Martin Luther King, you know about Malcolm X, you know about different, civil rights activists that we have had. But there are a lot of, like Harriet Tubman, we know about all those people, Sojourner Truth. But there are so many people that had impactful lives and played a great part in what we are today. So one that I want to talk about in particular is Robert Abbott.
Brother Abbott.
Research Robert Abbott.
Yeah.
So Robert Abbott was he founded a weekly newspaper called the Chicago Defender. It was one of the most important Black newspapers in history, and it was founded in 1905. So without Robert Abbott, we wouldn't have Essence magazine, we wouldn't have the Jet magazine, we wouldn't have Black Enterprises, The Source, The Undefeated, or any other Black, because he was a person that paved the way with the newspapers.
Absolutely.
He did it, and he was one of the most prominent post-slavery Black millionaires, along with several other people, which I'll name a little later. But he was the son of slaves. So he grew up, and he was taught to hate racial injustice. So he was, to me, when I did the research on him, oh my God, I'm gonna just pull up my little tablet and show y'all. When I say do research, I literally do research. Do research.
Absolutely.
So when I say I'm doing research on a person, I'm doing research on them. I don't know it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So he attended Hampton University. Way back then it was called Hampton Institute. So that was another amazing fact that I learned. And he was, excuse me everybody for looking over, but I can't keep all this in my head because I do so many things in the course of the day.
Because he accomplished so many tremendous things. He pretty much was a trailblazer in the Black community. And I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm so excited because the SOS family has created a platform to educate our people. This is a gentleman who most of our people have no idea even exists, but he is someone that has paved the way in Black communication. And if it weren't for him, like you said before, we wouldn't have Essence magazine, we wouldn't have Jet magazine, we wouldn't have our lines of communication that have been used to elevate our stories and our voices. So absolutely.
Yeah. So he did so much during the presidency of Woodrow Wilson in the 1919 Chicago riots.
Yeah.
He did so much to educate people because he had his little newspaper. And back then you didn't have a press to press your papers out on. You had to hand type it out. And you had to lay the format. So you had to do all of this everything was done by hand. Yeah. So I applaud him for his work and all that he did.
And the dedication.
Because people now, you tell them to do something and if they don't get it right the first time, they give up. So,
That's a microwave generation we live in. Absolutely.
We so soft. We are
very
such
true.
Soft people now.
Very true. Very true.
So
Brother Abbott, was a phenomenal trailblazer, and I'm so honored that we have the privilege. What people don't realize is that we as Black people, the opportunities that we have, I need one of those fans. The opportunities that we have are essentially us being on the shoulder, like we stand on the shoulders of people that come before us, right? We don't really give the proper recognition for the people that come before us, and I'm honored that we have the opportunity to highlight these figures. There's another figure that I really love that many of our people in Black America haven't necessarily paid much attention to, and this is all because of us not controlling our institutions. But it's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah, Kwame, last name Nkrumah, Nkrumah. He was the first president of the nation of Ghana. Ghana is located in West Africa. Ghana is a very important nation because this is a country where many African Americans have lineage, right? This is where most of us essentially came from before
Yes.
the slave trade. Now, the reason why Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is an important figure is because he had a vision to mobilize Black people on a global scale. It's important for us to understand this because living in America and being indoctrinated with an American ideological framework, we've been taught to only focus on what's happening in Black America, right? But we have not been educated on Black leadership, Black trailblazers on a global scale. There are Black people around the world who promoted the liberation and the unification of Black people around the world. And Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is someone that we need to have in our libraries. We need to purchase his books. We need to go to YouTube and look at his lectures. He is someone who coined the term Africa must unite, right? And when he used the term Africa must unite, he's speaking of African people, people of African descent. That means if you're Black American, if you're Jamaican, if you're Haitian, if you're Black Brazilian, Black people around the world who are descendants of Africa have to unite and combine their resources in an effort to create a global Black economy. This is what he promoted, and this is how what the white supremacist economic structure did was they intentionally eliminated him from our educational institutions so that we as Black people wouldn't be empowered to unite globally. So Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is someone I have a tremendous amount of respect for. He's someone who we should know about and teach our young people and follow. Just go on YouTube and type in Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. You'll find a wealth of knowledge.
Okay. I'm going to have you say his name one more time so that we can type it into the comment box so that people can.
Absolutely. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The first name, Kwame. Now, Kwame is a Ghanaian name. Ghanaian is Ghanaian are the people of Ghana are located in West Africa. Kwame Nkrumah is spelled Kwame. That's the first name. The last name Nkrumah is spelled Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah. Right? Now, this is important because many African Americans will tell me, and I hear this echo throughout our communications. African Americans will tell me repeatedly, quote unquote, Africans don't like us, right? I also hear statements made where people assert that Africans have never done anything to outreach to Black America. They've never done anything to empower Black America since we've been here from slavery. Well, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and his crew and all of the people that have followed his work have done tons of work to liberate African Americans. They've done tons of work in the African American community. They've done tons of work to raise the level of consciousness amongst people of African descent outside of Africa in an effort to create global Black empowerment. And this is a conversation that many of us miss out on. And I really want us to really do some research so we can engage in a global context of what Black empowerment is.
Yes. And I want to, with everything that's going on in the world right now, with the virus, and people are not certain about whether they're going to send their children to school.
Absolutely.
Or they're going to homeschool them. This is the perfect time if you're going to choose to homeschool your children.
Yes.
If you're going to homeschool your children, this is the perfect time to research things together with your child.
Yes.
Depending on the age level and the grade level. Research some things about Black history that would not have been taught to your child out of a history book, because our history is not written in the average history book. There's a little small snippet of things in the history books, but it's nothing compared to the history that we have, because we are a people that our history is so rich.
Absolutely.
Our history is just like owning gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's not taught, because it's such a rich history. Our history goes back not just to when your forefathers might have stepped off a slave ship here in the United States. It goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
We are a people where if you do your ancestry research back far enough,
AfricanAncestry.com is a great resource.
You might find out that you had kings, queens, all of that in your family lineage. So when you're saying what we can't do, and we're so dependent
right now, yes.
Yeah, we're so dependent on what others are telling us.
Absolutely.
It's because I'm learning so much more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I'm gonna be I teach, but I teach preschool. Mm-hmm. So every year I put Black history is plastered throughout my classroom. It's in the hallway for the parents. And I, living here in the Pontiac area, a lot of people don't know we have a lot of rich history here in Pontiac. Mm-hmm. So I put just Pontiac Black history facts on a large poster board.
Yes.
Put the people that were the first by doing certain things, but it goes deeper than just here.
Yes.
You need to research back.
Absolutely. Now this is my perspective on things. So for those that don't know me, I'm a sociocultural anthropologist. I've traveled to 16 different countries around the world. And once this coronavirus situation ends, I plan to travel more. When I look at the Black community, we do ourselves a disservice when we disconnect ourselves from other Black groups around the world. And here's the reason why. Take a look at the Jewish American community. The Jewish Americans are connected to Israel. There's a reason for that. They understand that they have a global power, and they can leverage Israel in such a way where they create a global power base, right? There's a local Jewish American community in Brooklyn, in New Jersey, in Michigan, and other places, but they're connected to a global power base, right? When you look at the Asian American community, we can go to Chinatown, we can go to, there's a Japanese town in Los Angeles, right? But they're connected to their countries of origin. African Americans, because of the history of the transatlantic slave trade, we were cut off from our global power base. We were cut off from Africanness, right? So we're taught from the American educational institution, we're taught that our history starts in slavery, and that's a problem. When we understand that Black history is global, that's going to empower us in such a way where we can compete on a global scale. African Americans, as an independent, isolated group, can't compete with a China, right? If you look at Black Jamaicans, Jamaica is too small and too significant and too poor to compete with a Russia. It's when Black people of all of these diverse cultures, all of these diverse Black cultures, mobilizing and aggregating their resources to create a global front That's how we compete on a global scale. But we can't do that if we don't understand the contributions that came from Black people on a global scale. This is the reason why I brought up Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana, because our people need to understand that our history is not just in America. We have history around the world.
Around the world.
Absolutely.
Because when I was coming up, the only person that we heard about from Africa or from other countries, we heard about Shaka Zulu. I'm just saying.
Which is amazing. Yes.
Amazing. And we heard about Nelson Mandela. That was the extent of knowing anything about Ghana or about Africa.
Absolutely.
Or Nigeria. You didn't
we're limited. Yeah.
It was so limited.
We're limited. We only think that Black history, we only think of Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. These are phenomenal figures. Now, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela aren't necessarily figures I look up to, right? And that's a whole nother conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother conversation. When you look at the white supremacist economic structure of America and our educational institutions, they will push certain figures who didn't necessarily promote Black liberation per se, right? They're going to promote figures who will talk about holding hands with white people, right? Befriending the same people who oppressed you, right? But when you look at people like Kwame Nkrumah, or if you look at the brother from Zimbabwe, President Mugabe, who just passed away recently, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to empower us to study these figures, because these figures were like, no, we have to cut off our ties to colonial powers, and we have to promote global Black liberation. They're not going to teach us that. But I think that once we take control of our own narrative and we control our own institutions, we can articulate our own message.
Yeah. Another person that I did some research on, because I never heard of her, but I heard a story. So I'm a big Law and Order fan. So on Law and Order one night, they were talking about it was a young man, Black guy, that he killed his cousin because he thought his cousin was like trying to cut the family out of something. But in all reality, he was trying to make sure that proper lineage was there. When I was doing my research, I saw this name, Henrietta Lack. Never had heard of Henrietta Lack, but based off of Law and Order and her, Henrietta Lack, and that's a picture of her. She was a beautiful young lady. She was 31, and she was a mother of 5. She had cervical cancer. But right before she died, the doctors at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore sliced a piece of her tissue of her cancerous tumor without her consent. So they stole her cells.
Wow.
So her cells are still saving lives today, even though she died in 1951.
Wow.
Wow.
That's serious.
Yeah, because they said it was something about her, the type of cancer that she had. Had she not been Black, she would have survived. But because she was a Black person with limited resources to get the proper, they allowed her to die. But at the same time, they have kept her cells in incubators and in like the little petri dishes, and her family never reaped a dime of the money that they have made over the years by using her cells.
Wow.
So still have this woman. So you think about it, she died in 1951, and this is 2020. They're still using her cells for research.
Isn't that such a typical narrative where they use our...
A lot of people don't realize if they remove something out of you without your consent, that's stealing. Her family, they were poor, and they could have used whatever stipend that was offered, but they didn't offer anything. And to this day, she's in my grave, unless since this article that I was looking at was published, she was on my grave. Her family, they're still poor, barely making it. And Big Pharma is making millions off of her sales.
See, what we don't realize is this is a microcosm of the bigger picture. We don't understand that people have used us. Like, we are the original people. When you look, last week we had a conversation about all of these Black inventors who created these inventions that transformed the way society operates, right? That came from us, right? I was also talking last week about how a lot of Black youth were essentially communicating to me how, and people say this all the time, the Latinos are the hard workers, the Asians are the smart ones, the white guys have the money, but we're always the ones who are ratchet. We're always the ones who are ghetto fabulous, right?
Yeah.
We're stuck with the ghetto baby mama drama, while all these other cultures are essentially creating empires off of our back. We have to learn about what we contributed to the world and how we transformed the way the world operates and functions. If we don't have these conversations, our young people are going to continue to operate in such a way where they don't know their value in the marketplace. And this is a very serious conversation. People use us. They use us. They use our talent. They use our abilities. Look at hip hop, for example. Look at how we created hip hop, right? But you have cultures all around the world. You have Japanese who are making billions off of the hip hop industry, right? Creating these hip hop lingos, right? That came from us, right? We don't control hip hop. It's the white Jewish companies that control hip hop, right? But that art, that intellect, that culture, right? That vibration came from us, but other people are able to leverage that to build their own empire. That's a problem.
It's a serious problem, and
I'm getting hot tonight. I'm hot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pass correction plate in a minute.
Absolutely.
And it's like I was saying, it's a problem because most of the time now, if you ask a child what they want to be, when I was a kid, you would hear the answer or response would be you wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, a fireman, a policeman, the jobs that you knew what people had. You ask kids now what they want to be. They want to be Elsa. They want to be the princess at the Disney. They have no clue that these are not real, tangible jobs. I mean, which they are tangible jobs if you want to go work at Disney and dress up in the costumes every day. For the most part, they have no clue. The boys will say they want to play basketball or football. And I mean, I'm the mother of two sons, and I'm gonna face it. Everybody not gonna play basketball. I have a son that's tall, slim. But that was not his route that he chose. He never liked ball. He was in band. He was in music. He played several different instruments. He was very musically talented, and he's a nice young man. And he liked to model and stuff like that. So I let him make the decision as to what he wanted to do. My younger son, he's big, bulky, thought he would have played football. He played in school a little, but that wasn't what he chose to do. So I'm happy that I just have two young men that don't have a police record, type of thing. So, but I still worry about the rest of the the generations behind it. I have a grandchild that worry about him as a young black man. What is it going to be for him when he grows up?
Yeah.
What career path will he be able to take based off of the things that we have experienced and things that have been, we have no cap. There should be no cap, or there should be no box that we are put in to, I would say, for a career choice, or what you choose to do, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or whatever. If you're going to be a bum, be the best bum ever. Be a bum that's making the most money. Have a hustle,
But we should control the industry.
Yeah.
We need to put ourselves in a place where we control the industry. We are the original people. We are the ones who created these inventions. We are the ones that transformed the world. We are the ones that, look at black fashion, look at black hip hop, look at all these little lingos that we come up with, right? Other groups are able to leverage what we create to create, in order to generate economic power for themselves. We have to take control of what we own and not make any apologies for saying we have to put black first, right? The black community comes first. Building black industry, building black businesses, building black communities is the only thing we should be talking about. And until we get to that place, other groups will continue to stand on our shoulders to build their empires while we work for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, the list is so long of what, like when we were talking about the inventions and inventors or things last week, the same goes with the influential people that were groundbreakers. That list was so long.
Yeah.
We could do a show on, we could pick 5 every week and do a show.
Yes.
And we would have shows that would take us over into probably 2 years from now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this is the reason why when, our first show, when we were talking about Black Wall Street, and I don't want to talk your ear off. I know we're running over time, but, Black Wall Street, people don't understand that Black Wall Street was more than just Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Black Wall Street was a microcosm of what Black people had the power to create. We built industry. We built technology. We were able to, in a time when we were discriminated against, right? When discrimination was heightened, right? We were able to create Black business districts. We had our own schools, our own institutions, right? When we had our own, we were able to educate our people about truth. Now that we're integrated into mainstream society, and what they're trying to teach to us is you mix with white America, you mix with these other groups, right? But the reality is other cultures don't preach the same rhetoric, right? Look at Jewish Americans, Asian Americans. These groups will strategically aggregate their resources, build their own institutions in an effort to create facilitate the flow of their traditions and their culture. You keep your culture alive. And if we're not having that conversation, we'll be in the same position this time next generation.
Now, you had said something to me about Steve
Beaker.
Steve Beaker. Can you enlighten us a little bit about Steve Beaker?
Yes. Steve Beaker was a powerful revolutionary coming out of South Africa. And I know we're running short on time, but I want us to take some time to do research on Steve Biko, because the Black empowerment movements that we experience, that we have in America, are can be traced back to Steve Biko in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Biko was a phenomenal revolutionary. He's someone who fought the white power structure. What happened was South Africa was a country. Well, we all know that South Africa was colonized. When I use the term colonized, that's another word for that's another way of saying the white power structure pretty much took over the political, social, and economic structures of Africa. Steve Biko was someone who stood up and said, no, white supremacy will not have a place in South Africa, right? He's someone that resisted, right? He's someone that resisted this power structure from taking over. Just like gentrification, right? We see white developers coming into the black community and we allow it to happen. It was the Steve Biko in South Africa that stood up to say, no, we have to create a black power structure that will facilitate black economic empowerment. So Steve Biko is someone that we should do, that we should be doing tons of research on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I know it is hot because you look like you might have a little outside setting going on.
I'm telling you, I got my preacher rag on.
You got your preacher rag on.
Preacher rag on, absolutely.
You got your water going on.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful Friday. Mm-hmm. And I just want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching the SOS show with Mary Evans, with myself, with John Sanders, and all of the other shows that we have throughout the week. We have Motivational Mondays with Alexis, which is I Am Beauty. We have Hot Topic Tuesday. Yeah. We have Wind Down Wednesday. We have Throwback Thursday. And then today's Impactful Friday. Tomorrow, Saturday, we generally do financial literacy, teaching about how to get your finances in order with Mary. And then on Sundays, we do coffee and conversation. But guess what? On all of the shows, no matter what day, we're trying to teach and educate our people on different things. And if you have a show topic that you would like to see on any day, just let us know. We're always open for suggestions.
Yeah.
I'm not a Oprah. I'm not a Tamron Hall. I'm Donna Jean. You know, when I leave here, I got work to do.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
You know, so I want people to know we're transparent. I'm not a professional. I'll speak for myself. I'm not a professional. But I'm loving it. I'm enjoying the audience. I'm enjoying trying to educate people as well. So I'm enjoying having a conversation with John because we're in two totally different states right now. He's in one state and I'm here in Michigan.
Yeah.
I'll let him disclose where he wants. If he wants you to know where he is, I'll let him disclose that. I won't tell on him. But the show, we're just here to educate our people about our stories. So with that being said, John Sanders, I want you to have a great afternoon and enjoy the rest of this sunshiny day. And wherever you are, whether you're here in the States, because I know we have a lot of people that are normally online from Ghana, Nigeria,
Togo, Benin, Cameroon, Zimbabwe,
Jamaicans. Yes, we have everybody. So we want everybody to please tune in and please like, share, and comment, even if it's a rewatch, because I do go back in, check the comments. If someone comments, I try to tell them thank you or, answer their questions that they may have. Absolutely. So with that being said, hit it, Alexis.
Yeah.
I know they gon' remember me, 'cause I'm gon' leave them